Hi Whovians, Harry here, and Doctor Who Season 2 is almost here. And before it arrives, I wanted to talk about Mrs. Flood. Yes, the big overarching character from Season 1 carrying on and will be revealed at the end of Season 2. However, I have a theory about her. A theory that Mrs. Flood is a space baby. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe, also leave a like and comment down below, and let's get into the video. So, it has been revealed by Anita Dobson herself, the actress that plays Mrs. Flood, that space babies, unlike how her first impression of it, that she thought, why is Doctor Who starting off with this kind of weird story, how it actually connects to Mrs. Flood's story.
Do you remember the first episode was with the babies, the babies on that planet that were running the spaceship? And I remember I watched it and thought, what's this about? Where's this come from? When I started filming what you're going to see soon, I thought, I think I know what this is about. Everything's tied up. Everything's done for a reason.
And it is not really hard to see why, actually, when you take a closer look at it. And Mrs. Flood has been orchestrating everything from the start, because even though this new era kind of started with the Church on Ruby Road, that was the 15th Doctor's first full episode, really everything started overarching in, well, space babies, because in the Church on Ruby Road, Mrs. Flood is keen for Ruby to enter the TARDIS and go with the Doctor, even wishing Ruby luck. And she even tries to deflect Abdul from telling others that he saw the TARDIS, or to him, the box thing, that it just vanished. So she knows that the Doctor... So she seems to be wanting the Doctor and wanting Ruby to be together. Now, is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? We don't really know, because Missy, of course, wanted the Doctor and Clara to end up together because she thought it was like the perfect match made in heaven, and for her to rot things from the inside once she eventually revealed herself. So is it the same thing with Mrs. Flood? We don't know, or not, but it seems like she's almost wanting them to be together for a good reason. But why? Well, it goes further that she knows that, of course, the Doctor's police box is a TARDIS, and what it does as she breaks the fourth wall in a post-credit scene in the Church on Ruby Road. So she must know what the TARDIS is, like she refers to it by name, and probably what it does. And really, if we go with this space babies theory, there could be weight to it, because the space babies have superior intelligence in relation to their size. I mean, they still act pretty childish in that episode, but according to Jocelyn, the space babies have been around for 6 years, so really they have the intelligence of 6-year-olds as compared to not even 1-year-olds, so they do have a superior intelligence in relation to their size. And who's to say that they don't age, but at a slower rate, meaning that their mind will get better and better and better, and maybe in the future there will be less disintegration of the brain as they advance further on into old age, which obviously will happen eventually, but maybe in the future brain power just continues to grow when you are child size, which these space babies seem to be stuck at for at least, well, several years. And it is not hard to see how Mrs. Flood could have superior intelligence, as she is able to break the fourth wall, possibly due to her brain age being older than what she looks like, and of course, breaking the fourth wall is a massive thing, because we have only seen, I think, 2 other characters do this in this new series, being the Doctor that we saw in The Devil's Cord, and of course also we saw Maestro break the fourth wall again from the episode The Devil's Cord. And this could do with, because the Doctor and Maestro have superior intelligence. Maestro is a god, and the Doctor's age, of course, him being older than what he looks like, which is exactly the same as Mrs. Flood. If she is a space baby, she has superior intelligence, and also she is older than she actually looks in relation to her brain age. And Mrs. Flood would know about the TARDIS if she was a space baby, because the Doctor informed Jocelyn that his police box was a TARDIS and it was a ship which would be able to get them out of danger. And we know that Mrs. Flood has at least this amount of knowledge about the TARDIS, that it is called a TARDIS, and that it is a ship that can travel, at least throughout space, because we never know whether she knows that they can travel through time. And, of course, the Doctor and Ruby make a big impact on the space babies and get them to Mondo Karun, which is a planet that helps refugees, as seen, of course, in the episode Space Babies. So, with the Doctor and Ruby making such an impact on these space babies, in the future, wouldn't these space babies that love Ruby and the Doctor, wouldn't they want to know about their saviours? Especially as, even though maybe they don't know it, they are in the Doctor and Ruby's future, so why wouldn't they at least look them up? And, of course, the big impact makes sense with why Mrs. Flood was so keen for Ruby to join the Doctor. She remembered the Doctor and Ruby, so she wanted Ruby to join the Doctor's travels because she remembered being that space baby and the Doctor and Ruby helping, her and the rest of the space babies, for them to live, for them to maybe eventually grow into to look older than babies. And the Doctor does make waves in history, so it would not be impossible for them to find out the Doctor and Ruby's story, and this actually makes more sense when we see later appearances by Mrs. Flood. Because, for example, Mrs. Flood knows that she doesn't get involved with the events of 73 Yards. She literally states that, but surely she would want to know what is happening in 73 Yards if she was this big, bad, or maybe even good overarching figure, but she knows she doesn't get involved. How does she know? She's from the future. And also, it goes on to even further. In The Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death, Mrs. Flood knows about Sutekh and how he appears and terrorizes the Doctor and, of course, all life. But even though she knows that Sutekh has appeared, she is shocked when she dies to Sutekh's gift of death. But why is she shocked about her dying when she knows that Sutekh, the god of death, is here? Well, because of course in the history books it would have Sutekh being defeated by the Doctor, which of course eventually did happen, but maybe the history books missed out the part where everyone died for I don't know, a couple of days, some weeks maybe? So she would think that Sutekh would appear, but the Doctor would defeat him before the gift of death happened, making sense why she knows about Sutekh, but is also surprised when she is killed by him. So I think with all of these things together, with her seeming to have knowledge beyond beyond how old she looks, and also have knowledge on future prior incidents like 73 Yards and The Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death with Sutekh's return, I think it points to the fact that Mrs. Flood is from the future, and with her wanting the Doctor and Ruby to be together, it points to the fact that they helped her out in the future. Of course, with Anita Dobson saying that Space Babies is integral to Mrs. Flood's story, that can only make sense that Mrs. Flood was a space baby. But that is just my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this theory. Do you think Mrs. Flood is a space baby? Do you have any other theories of your own? And how excited are you for Doctor Who Season 2? It is almost here. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe, and share it out. And I will see you, well, when Season 2 launches. See you then.